You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
You are listening to the one and only IT in the D Show. This is episode 202. Guests include Sola O'Brien, talking about Social Media Day Detroit.
What's up?
And Sola O'Brien.
And then
talking about social media.
Sola is running solo as a guest tonight.
I'm a star.
All right, hey, before we dive in, though, so the Couchbase Engagement Database is the first and only database specifically designed to deliver the brilliant digital experiences that keep customers coming back for more. Built on the most powerful NoSQL technology, the Couchbase data platform gives you unparalleled agility, manageability, and performance at any scale. Now you can give your customers continuously richer and more personalized experiences across all your web, mobile, and Internet of Things apps. Learn more at couchbase.com/IT in the D. That's couchbase.com/IT in the D.
Dave, you may fire when ready.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'm Wyatt, that's Gary, you're Bob, and you're Dave. This is the IT in the D Show.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Just where do you guys think you are? The Library of Congress? Detroit? Beyond the sun? Any of those, right?
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No! You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Hi, this is Christy Swanson, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. And Bob and Dave touch my hoo-hoos.
What happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly. Come on. Someone tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the D Show.
This is Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, and the only two guys I hate more than Dinesh are Bob and Dave. Suck it, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science. So, Bob and Dave, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Are we at a break yet?
Hey, this is Zach McGowan from Planet Earth. You're listening to IT in the D Show.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds. Nerds. What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Hey, Detroit, this is Anthony Michael Hall. You're listening to my buddies Bob and Dave on IT in the D.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump Pump. The IT in the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Hey, everybody. This is Tony Todd. What's happening? You may know me from Candyman, The Rock, Sushi Girls, Zoom, Night of the Living Dead. A lot of pop culture media madness. Anyway, you're listening to IT in the D Show. Business.
I'm totally into Dave, but not so much Bob.
This is Robert Hayes, the Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat steak.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guys. Oh!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, and you better buckle up. Now buckle this. Ludicrous speed! Go!
Welcome. Thank you for listening. This is the IT in the D Show, episode 202, broadcasting live here in Studio One in Podcast Detroit.
And you're in the red already.
In beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, hanging out with Dave, the geek. Nuri the F&G is on location.
Somewhere.
Find us online, itinthed.com. Follow us on all the social and subscribe to us everywhere. Find podcasts are sold. Do us a favor, mark your calendars. This Thursday, the 29th of June, we have this is our fourth podcaster meetup we've done, and it's going to be at Selena's right down the street from our studio here in 11 Mile and 75 in Royal Oak. Basically, it's the same thing as our IT socials, but for podcasters, come on out. No speakers. No one's going to sell you anything. No one's going to take your name. Just hang out, talk with podcasters about podcasting and
properties of podcasting
and properties of podcasting.
It'll be demented and sad, but social, I'm sure.
Hey, this segment is brought to you by our friends at Norton. All of us have internet at home. All of us have a Wi-Fi router. No one secures them.
Some of us have more than one. No, actually, some of us do.
You secure yours. I don't. Honestly, think of all the stuff that you keep on your computer between pictures, credit card info, just like baby monitors, all your IoT stuff.
All those
wide
saved
open.
Passwords, all those, yeah.
Norton by Symantec. If you know them, obviously we've all had Symantec on our computer at one point in our lives. For the last 30 years, they've been in and around our computers. They built a secure Wi-Fi router called Norton Core. At first glance, it's cooler than any router you've ever seen, but don't be fooled. It's not just glitz and glamour. Underneath their stylish exteriors, powerful security technology helps turn your home Wi-Fi network into a digital fortress. They discovered personal connected devices, identifies vulnerabilities, and helps secure them, and they quarantine the threat if your device is breached. They also feature, this is cool for us dads, parental controls that let you decide when and where your kids go on the internet. Oh, I like that. 8 o'clock, no more.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice little touch right there.
And there's a dual 1.7 gigahertz processor, so you get blazing internet speeds as fast as even for Nuri's gig internet that he gets from Comcast at home. Do us a favor, get the security that you need, the speed what you want with Norton Core. Go to norton.com/IT to save $30 if you pre-order before August 1st. Norton.com/IT.
I got mine on order.
And I must, for the record, I have Norton.
Norton. Hey, so speaking of quarantining threats, let's kick off with the phenomenal story coming out of Canada. We don't often talk about Canada, and when we do, it's usually I'm not your guy, buddy.
They have the internet in Canada.
They apparently, I don't know what they have in Canada. They have snipers in Canada. Who knew? And the sniper from this Canadian sniper just not only broke but destroyed the previous record for a confirmed kill when he took out one of the ISIS leadership from 2 miles away.
That was
with a shot.
So not only so think about this for a second. Count to 10 seconds. Just count them off. That's bullet leave and bullet make guy go bye-bye.
Yeah.
In 10 seconds. And that thing, you have to account for
wind,
not just wind,
dude moving.
It's for the flat Earth people. Sorry, this is going to break your.
There is an arc.
It accounts for the Earth's arc, and for I think it's an 18-inch drop. If I'm not mistaken,
per mile, I think. Yeah,
yeah. So you have to go that much higher. Like for 2 miles, you have to go almost a yard above the target to count for the drop, and it was confirmed.
But that's insane to me.
Canadian marksmanship, that goes hand in hand. Like when you're kids, you learn how to marksman, like the biathlon and the Winter Olympics. Like when they have those.
Wait, that exists outside of what was it? The Spy Who Loved Me?
Yes.
I thought they just created that for the James Bond movie. No,
it's true.
Oh, all right.
But they, kids shoot rifles at
Well, I mean, there's moose. You got to protect yourself from the moose.
Right. The dangerous
moose. Bears and moose.
Right. Not the Randy kind of bears, but bears.
Right. I told you I got asked this weekend if Tommy guns, because, we got the Tommy gun vodka sitting out there.
Right.
If Tommy guns really were a thing or if they were just created for Home Alone.
No, it's for the movies.
That was pretty amazing.
It's for the movies.
Yeah.
So last week we talked about, automation is becoming a regular topic here. And we were talking about, hey, fast food kids, look out. There's a robot that can flip burgers $400 an hour. Mm-hmm. You're all screwed. Well, guess what, Mr. Hedge Fund Manager?
You're next.
You're next. So we're not just coming after the people making nothing.
Well, but if you think about it,
coming after money managers.
But if you think about it, this actually makes perfect sense because like when I read, I didn't quite get it when I clicked into the article, but the more I read, the more perfectly logical it sounded. Because a hedge fund manager just recognizes patterns. That's what they do. They analyze data.
It's a hedge bet, up or down.
Yeah, they recognize patterns and away they go. Well, that's no different than intrusion detection systems. It's no different than what you're doing with your new day job. The predicated or preemptive security checks and all that kind of stuff. Why wouldn't an algorithm be better, faster, stronger at that than a human?
Than a people.
Yeah.
And he's not going to cost you $1 million a year.
Oh, yeah, because what was it? They said they tend to take 2% of the transaction plus like an annual maintenance fee and yada, yada. And like, oh, yeah, no, there's just people writing code galore that are just making them obsolete. Sorry.
It's becoming... I don't want to say it's becoming a coder's world, but it is. Like, I was sitting next to guys, auto guys, that they go, I'd love to get a promotion, but I don't know that code. And these guys are on the line at the Chryslers. And so that was a Michigan way to say it. The Chryslers. But no, all those guys, the tool guys, like not like my dad, my uncle, and everybody that I grew up with, you basically have to learn code to even run these machines these days.
Oh yeah, that's when my father-in-law decided it was time for him to get out of being a millwright at Chrysler. Was when they started, bringing all the computers in and trying to break. And he was just like, "Yeah, this isn't what I signed up for. I'm going to go ahead and retire."
There's no way to get around it. Yeah. Unless you want to be a welder like Jimmy, I don't think you need. But you still need for ARC, I don't know what he does for a living, but I think you still have to know.
He welds.
You have to know the computers.
And he welds stuff, and he does properties of welding.
No, but if you want to read the article, it's on Bloomberg calling robots are eating money managers' lunch.
Yeah, no, we'll throw the link out. I'm sure.
Pretty interesting.
But in that same vein, I mean, from the auto industry, we've talked about WannaCry a bunch of different times,
right?
And apparently, it's still out there. It's still floating around. It's still causing issues. Like, for example, the Honda plant in Japan that had to be shut down because it was thoroughly infested.
No, I don't think you spoke to that in the brevity of that happening. Like, lines getting shut down costs like hundreds of thousands of dollars per second.
I remember, so Dennis Walsh, CTO at GM, back when I was there, I remember him with his giant pumpkin head and his X-Force Recon Marine body and slamming his big old ham fist down on a table, pointing out that every time a line stopped, it was like $10,000 per second.
That was 20 years ago.
That's true.
This was an entire plant.
Yeah.
So, and I love, it comes from Technica, arstechnica.com, and I love how they slipped this one in. Honda shuts down factory after finding NSA-derived WannaCry.
Because it's the WannaCry variant, WCry,
right?
That took the weaponized portions of it that somebody grabbed from the NSA.
That got dropped in a WikiLeaks.
Yeah, they just recompiled it and re-released it with that.
Right.
But yeah,
who's having a good week this week?
Not the Japanese Honda plant.
No, gamers.
Oh, you know what? Well, I'm going to go yes and no.
Well, there's a lot of one-upmanship going on right now. So the three big ones is
the first one that came out was Sega.
A Sega on the Android, which is I don't want to, I don't play Sonic the Hedgehog on my phone. Sorry,
but you will.
I will totally.
You will.
Atari, which
it's. Box, is the name of it.
Who's coming out with what? Like, are they going to deliver Activision titles like old school?
Well, or is it going to
try to?
Is it going to try to compete with, the
Nintendo,
Xbox and PS4, or is it going more the Nintendo route, or is it going the more retro arcade route? And if you watch the little teaser trailer they released, it was like a couple of weird shots of this thing that looked like, from a finish perspective, an old 2600 console. Because it had
it's not a retro unit.
But it had that. No, it's not supposed. We don't know what it. Nobody knows what the hell it is.
Right.
But it's got that like faux wood panel.
As it should.
That the 2600 had. But yeah, so they announced that the box is coming, but nothing else.
Like develop. What are they going to run on it? Yeah. Right. Well, we're all going to go buy one anyway.
Well, I'm totally going to go buy one.
But like. That's the thing that got me was, my kid's birthday just passed, and I looked at the Nintendo Switch for about 10 seconds and decided no, you get no more of my money, Nintendo, after the what you did with the Wii U. You know, I bought the Wii. Now I went and bought the Wii U. And no, I'm not buying a new console again in what, 2 years?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I don't know if because where Nintendo torqued me off and where I stopped